Welcome to the Everyday Awesome Project, where we bring you inspirational stories and game-changing strategies to live your most awesome life. Hey, superstars, welcome back. Polly here.
Sam Pruitt, what's up, beautiful humans?
Hey, you guys, we've got a fun topic today. Samantha and I are our usual fired up, but I think we're in a fun phase and pretty fired up about this one. We're calling this one, Should I Break Up with My Coach?
Should I break up with my coach? It's like a
Right?
reality TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
Oh, that is kind of a topic for that is kind of a name for it. We should get on that show. We should help people
Oh, yes, we should be
fired up
hosting that show.
and
Okay.
how and how. So what I want to start us off with is, some people, I'm hoping if you've clicked on this and you're listening to this, it's like probably in a coaching relationship, you're like, maybe it's not working or whatever. And that's what we're here to share with you is, what is coaching? What's unhealthy coaching? So start us off with like, what is a good coach or what is coaching, if you will, and maybe some qualities to look for in a good coach.
Yeah. And before I do that, because I
Oh,
want
please.
people to really listen to that definition I'm about to spout. It's my definition, by the way. It's not from online AI or thesaurus, but so take it with a grain of salt. But you and I are coaches. So if they haven't figured that piece out, we're
Yeah.
life and business coaches.
Yeah. News
Also,
alert.
I have been an athletic coach, an endurance
Yep.
sports coach, a running coach, a triathlon coach, personal trainer, all those things. So
Yeah.
we have this sort of, when we say coaching, we
Yeah.
do mean like an all-encompassing sort of umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply this conversation we're going to have to any type of coaching. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In my 2 cents, a coach helps you take inventory of your life,
Mm.
supports the process of identifying what is working and what is not working,
Mm.
and the opportunities for change and growth that may be hiding.
Mm.
They collaborate with you while you unpack your truth and explore your potential.
Mm.
A coach sees, hears, and feels your story, your experience. A coach believes in you. A coach is on a mission to help you remove, well, a good coach is on a mission to help you remove the layers of your life that are no longer serving you so that you can redirect your time, your energy, your resources, your focus to building the life you really want and
Mm.
deserve.
Mm.
That's
You
me.
know, I hadn't thought of this until you just read that again. Like I was really taking it in, the coach. I was like, oh yeah, it was like hitting, it was landing with me. Like, oh yeah, that's nice. I mean, it's obvious that it's a relationship. It's two people,
Mhm.
the coach and the coachee,
Exactly.
if you will. But I was like, wow, it's a little bit like when you're evaluating a partner, a life partner, right? You have criteria or things that are meaningful to you, or what do you expect from this, let's say, relationship,
Mhm.
and know when it's like healthy or when there's good qualities in that person. And when you were saying this, I was like, yeah, and a coach it's a very intimate relationship at times, right? I mean, you're
It
oftentimes
is.
sharing a lot of deep things with this person. So, I mean, we're going to go into like healthy and unhealthy coaching and whatnot, but it's like just as you would choose to step into a relationship with an intimate partner and you think about that and would serve you and what are you looking for in that person. I think there's a list like that, like you just were talking about, like what do you want to look for in a good coach? Right. Yeah. Thoughts?
Exactly. And maybe we'll put that up in some other format somewhere for people to have,
Yeah.
like a deeper consideration for
Yeah.
themselves and with themselves, because it's an
Mhm.
internal conversation. Every
Mhm.
human is incredibly unique,
Right.
right? So when I share these things, I want the individual listening to really give reflection on their personal
Yeah.
needs, wants, wishes, and values while looking to identify this coach.
And I think I think we need to like get on the table, both of us. We've both been in a coachy role in the last month or more. You for a few months, right? You're doing your Ironman training, and you've had what we thought was a coach, and maybe there's a little dynamic that we want to share about that. And I also hired a coach recently to help me in my journey through studying and understanding myself through human design. So when we were kind of fired up because we're both going, this isn't serving me, right? So do you want to share a little bit of what, you know, seeing that, and that's been for you, has brought up for you about why we wanted to talk about this? Like, why did we think this was important, is what I want to say.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been thinking about this for a long time because I have been in a coaching role and been coached. So I do choose to be on both sides of the
Mhm.
table
Coaches get
many,
coaches.
many times. Yeah, good coaches get coaches because they understand the value and they have, even a next level skill set, if you will, to really get a lot out of those relationships.
Mhm.
So whether it is health and wellness and fitness, which is how I started in the coaching arena, but then I moved into this much deeper dive, with other aspects of my skill set and needs with humans. So I personally have experienced, I will share the story of this recent one, but many times these really great or not so great experiences. So I do think sharing that is important for our audience and being transparent and candid. So I appreciate you kind of throwing that right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So recently, yes, I'm training for my Iron Woman 2.0 adventure this fall, right? So I'm all in on this really significant goal for myself. It's a physical challenge, obviously, but it
Yeah.
also does require a lot of mental training. So it's a big audacious goal. I want to go faster than I went 13 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm now 55, postmenopausal. So it's the game has changed, things have changed. And I'm incredibly committed to this goal. So my idea was with the intention of finding a coach, get somebody that can maybe help me navigate things a little differently than I would have done way back in the day. And I was a triathlon coach,
Mhm.
coaching other athletes and had a triathlon club. So I have the background, if you
Yeah. Yeah, you
sports.
can build a plan and yeah, you know what needs
Yes,
to get done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
totally. So, but when you're trying to take something you've done and next level it, it really is helpful to have this collaborative relationship where you can really maybe explore another level of yourself as an athlete or as a human being, you know?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's what was my intention of this latest commitment to hiring a coach, which I did. And there were some parts of the relationship that were going well, which was mostly around programming,
Mhm.
and actual workouts and things of that nature,
Training plan. Yeah. Yeah.
training plan, you know. But there was this massive piece to the relationship that wasn't working, and it had to do with communication styles. It had to do with, ideas around mindset. It had to do with ideas about empowerment, things that I feel so passionately about. So I'm sure I maybe am not the average client, but I want to be and am willing and am empowering our audience to become that person too, right? Like to know yourself very well and
Mhm.
to understand what your needs are so that you can communicate those. So
Mhm.
anyway, the wheels fell off the bus in my particular relationship with this person, and I did break up with my coach last week. So that's
Mhm.
why this is hot topic for us this week.
And it goes to you and I both listen to different episodes of different people's podcasts. And what we
Yeah.
were hearing from high performance coaches in, let's say, the Olympics or world class cycling or whatever it was, is, and you and I know this, right, from our own world of coaching other people, but also in our own dynamic of pursuing high performance athletics, is it's not just the training plan that's going to get you to the finish line.
It
It's
is
not,
your performance bubble or your performance team, or we call it the A team.
yeah.
And we have a whole series of episodes on the A team. Like it's surrounding yourself with the right people in the right environment that curates the space that really allows you to perform at your highest level,
Mhm.
physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in business, etc. Like
Mhm.
it's the whole package, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes there can be one coach, sometimes there can be a bunch of coaches. But that was a recent issue basically that became a challenge for me, and I was trying to navigate it gracefully and come to terms with creating a relationship that could work for me and so forth. It did not at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And I had open communication and was very transparent about my experience and
Mhm.
very professional about it. It's not the
Mhm.
right fit.
Mhm.
But there are instances where I've also had that where I was the coach and I
Mm.
was coaching somebody else. So sometimes it's just not the right fit,
Mhm.
right? And I think we also want to open the doorway of the conversation for that too, for people to be thinking that, well, I was saying coaches are not gurus,
Mhm.
right? They will get into what's healthy and unhealthy and in a coaching dynamic. but it's really imperative for people to understand that they have a choice.
Mm,
It's probably the number one takeaway from this is that you have a choice. And the fact that you are so committed to yourself, your personal development, your growth, your journey, your path, that you would invest in a coach the resources, time, money, energy, connectivity, all of the things into, building that opportunity with another human being, to me is an incredible gift you give yourself. And it needs to be respected and
mhm,
handled appropriately on both sides
mhm.
of the table. Anyway, that
Awesome.
was a little bit of a rant, but I
I
had to
love
do
it. No, that's what we're talking about is, it's all things around this coaching dynamic, this relationship between these usually two humans. Sometimes it's a coach on a team or something, but let's say it's two humans. And when the wheels can go off the bus, like it
it.
does, either lack of, just like in an intimate relationship,
Yeah.
misalignment of values,
Yeah.
misalignment of interests,
Lack
or
of trust.
trust, personality type, right? And then things can go like, oh, the dynamics of communication between the two people aren't workable, or they've got trauma, one's got trauma, and whatever. So it's like
Yeah.
these dynamics are fluid, and it's the coming together of those two people, and is it workable or not, right? And the only other thing I wanted to insert before we get into, and I love the idea of like what is healthy and what is unhealthy, is what I'm finding with a coach that I've been working with is noticing the distinction between coaching and what I'm just going to refer to as subject matter expertise. Because
Okay.
I think there's a big difference that I'm seeing that I hadn't seen before, which is hiring someone. So I love to pay people, professionals, to get further, faster, farther. So I'm like, oh, if I can pay this person a few $100s, few $1,000s, and make a leap, that's a good investment. Like I'm like, I'm buying the time, I'm buying their experience to shorten my path of I gotta figure this out, I gotta learn all, whatever. We can get there, but this person can help me get there further, faster, farther. And so in this case, what I've noticed is I thought I was hiring more of a coach to help me work with, this human design in alignment with some things that I was wanting to see for myself. And what I got, or I'm realizing is 3 sessions in, is it's more just subject matter expert. And I'm still doing, I'm still being my own coach. And I was like, it wasn't what I was looking for. And that's okay, right? So I just want to point out, like, sometimes you can
Totally.
find yourself with, oh, this person has a lot of knowledge, but they're not a great coach. Like they can just, it's kind of like, here's what you need to do. Like, I think that was a little bit of what was going on in your dynamic. She's like, here's a training plan, just do this, you'll be fine. And you and I are like, yeah, and we're not next, we're not just the average Joe, like, or Jill. We want the performance. We want the fast track. You're going for 2.0 in this, right? So,
Well, and I would say when you're sharing your story, what I was taking in and processing in my own wheels over here, my own hamster cage, was the difference between like a consultant or
mm,
a expert in a industry, a topic,
mm,
versus a coach.
yeah.
And we've been in consultant roles too, and we've had consultants, we work with them. So like you do get those experts in the space, in their knowledge, but there's no other skill set generally that comes to the table or is even in the room because it's
Mm,
just not what was meant to happen there. And
mhm,
then with my dynamic, just when you were saying that too, kind of triggered for me. I definitely think that sometimes people who are coaching and who feel they are the expert
mm,
in the topic, subject matter, process, or whatever, still need to have the skills, by the way, to meet the person where they're at, communicate appropriately, listen, see, and hear the other individual so it can become really powerful.
mm,
Like the amount of work that can be done is
mhm,
mind blowing. We know we've done those things, right? But
mhm.
like that's so amazing
Yeah.
rather than that guru model or that expert model of like, it's my way or the highway. You better,
Mhm.
check in with me with all these things. We'll get into unhealthy and healthy, but that's interesting how you were
And
explaining.
so, and I love, this back and forth, I'm totally digging because as you were saying that, I was like, oh my God, and back to that, intimate partner relationship thing. It's, the person that's looking for someone to rescue them, right? Like, oh,
Yes.
when this person comes into my life will be complete or solved or something like that, right? And so and I think you and I are not that coach. We're not here, it's not like, oh, we're going to solve all your problems, whatever. It's like, no, we're going to help you do the work. You're going to do the push-ups. You're going to do the reps. You're going to do the homework. You're going to do the hard conversations, whatever that is, saying no, boundaries, whatever you need to do. But it's not going to someone and then putting all the power in that person and they're, yeah, you're just going to make my life better, or my training's going to get better just because I've come to you. Just like in a relationship, you don't go to your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and it's like, oh, once we're together, my life is complete. Oh, right.
No, that's part of the dysfunction. Giving up your power, and we're going to get into that.
Okay, so let's get into that.
And
Yeah,
let's get into it. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll list off some things and then you jump in, either share an experience where you had this, or maybe you've got something else to add. So let's just get started. Under the healthy bucket, and a coach empowers you to build self-knowledge and confidence, versus in an unhealthy, they encourage you to give up your power and your autonomy. Give it up to them, obviously, right? So it really, one is an empowered individual taking charge of their life and really discovering so much about themselves.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And the other is the person is kind of robbing you of that opportunity, really, and being the ultimate authority and taking power away from you, disempowering you.
Ugly, ugly, ugly. Yeah.
I know, but it happens. We're both have experienced it many times, and we've seen it.
Okay, so that's one. I was thinking of, so I was trying, when I was in high school, I had so I was big volleyball, loved volleyball through high school, college, and beyond. And I had my first year in high school, volleyball was a so-so coach, kind of probably hired from the local community, just kind of getting it done, if you will. Then next year, line up, showing up to the gym, and I'm like, okay, great, tryouts or whatever. In walks in a former Olympic volleyball player, just
hell yes.
And I was like, oh shit, what do we have here? Okay, thanks. New sheriff in town kind of feeling instantly, right?
Totally.
And I mean, she was lean, I bet, such a compassionate badass. Like
so good.
You're gonna fucking do work, but you're gonna love it, and you're gonna be pushed in a beautiful way, like to bring out the best in you, not like you're a peon, you don't know what you're doing. It was never like hard work for the sake of it. Was like hard work to build you into your best. So I mean, we won a championship, like it was amazing. So, but yeah,
I love it. Love it. Ooh, that's
and
a
it
good
was
story.
like you said, it wasn't taking our power away, and it was dictatorial in a good, healthy, dynamic way, right? Like she knew the reps that we needed to do, the things that we needed to do, and the standard that we needed to have, right? So anyway, that just jumped in my head when you said any stories. So all right, hit me with some more healthy coaching. Unhealthy.
Internal validation. So you learn to internally validate yourself versus external validation and approval.
Well, and that's where a little bit what we were talking about, like that relationship where you turn over your power to your spouse or your boyfriend. Oh yeah, save me kind of mentality. Or, oh, this coach knows more than me, I'll just do whatever they say. And instead it's like, no, they're like diving into you, showing up more for who you are, or finding, whatever feels weak and helping you strengthen it. Right.
Yeah. When you have to reach outside of yourself to understand your greatness. An example is like in sports for children. You do see this. I'm a parent. I'm a grandparent also. The kids playing the sport and they score, they do whatever, and then they immediately make sure the parents are looking to give them this feedback that has been developed. This feedback loop has been developed, right? It's conditioning. It's Pavlov's dog. Yeah. Am I good? Am I good? Did I do a good thing? Am I good? Versus the athlete or the human at work or wherever being like, check me out. Knowing within themselves and with their own communication that they're crushing it, that they're doing.
I love that. I love it. So keep us going on this roll. So what else is healthy and unhealthy? What else you got?
Autonomy we mentioned versus relying on the coach for advice and constant direction, like that feedback loop again, like, hey, am I doing this right? Making choices. So when I talk about autonomy specifically, I'll give a couple examples about this. In an athletic performance training for an event or whatever that might be looking like, trying to reach performance goals physically, there's a training program, you follow it. You don't generally follow it to a T. Okay, even at the Olympic level, the world-class level, you don't. Why? Because we are humans. Your body physiologically is always changing. The environment's changing, conditions, everything is changing. It's dynamic. So those programs and that coaching needs to be dynamic. That's why communication is so critical, et cetera, feedback in different methodologies. So having autonomy would be the athlete, like myself, for example. Okay, I'm going to go. I need to do a 70-mile ride. It's 110 degrees. It is ill-advised for me to go out for 5 hours and ride my bike in 110-degree weather with the knowledge, knowing that that whole week I still have 15 hours of training to do. I have all these other things going on, right? So I would be bearing myself. I can make an intelligent decision about that, modify that day, and then communicate that back to my coach, or even in advance, communicate that back. And there'd be a conversation, and then you'd modify the training program and you'd adapt, and then you'd just do it differently. Nimble, flexible. Versus if you've given up your power in an unhealthy environment, and yes, I have definitely seen this many, many times. The coach says, this is the workout, you will do it, irrelevant of the conditions, irrelevant of the fact you didn't sleep last night, irrelevant of the fact that you're totally stressed out in your home life, blah, 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 on and on and on. You will do the work. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Blindly following, orders, if you will.
So you've got to have a relationship where that autonomy is curated, appreciated, elevated. Like, I want my people, whether it's my business clients or my health and fitness clients, to feel like they know themselves better than I do. And if they give me that information and they communicate and we have that kind of relationship, I can help be of service to really maximize their experience.
And I want to add to what you're saying, and I can't remember if you have this in to come. So if I'm
jumping ahead,
dropping some, but so I was doing a facilitated strategy session this morning with the CEO, COO of a company, right? And when you talk about autonomy, so I'm not there to say, hey guys, this is your business, but I know better than you. Like, this is what you need to do, right? That's not how I show up at the table. It's like I feel full trust that they have beautiful brains, beautiful connections to their own path and their future and all this stuff. Maybe they need some, guardrails, or some feedback, right? Well, what about that? But it's usually a curiosity, a questioning that allows them, like you said, to autonomously go inside and know what's right for them, right? So even so sometimes, I get it, like a training plan versus, like when I was doing my Ironman, a lot of this was, I was out on the web trying to find, I didn't hire a coach, I had you, thank you, and we were like coach and but I would like throw some things around. But, say in business, I'm sorry, but there's no training plan oftentimes. There's no training plan. So you can just get off the web. Yeah, just go, hey, give me a 16-week build my business in a box, training plan kind of thing. You can get some information, whatever, but the autonomy is knowing inside, like, what's the next step? Or should I do this or should I do this? And I think, us as coaches, what we look at is, and the coach that's right for you is empowering you to help you decide, asking you the questions that pulls out your knowing. And guess what? As with children, you think that this is the best decision. Hey, go ahead and try that.
Exactly. Go out and try that.
Yeah. See if that works for you, right? Whether it's training and physical, like you said, oh yeah, I know.
And then bring me your honest feedback, by the way, because I know coaching relationships where the person being coached is hiding information from the coach that is critical to the actual strategy, goal, etc. But they don't feel like they can impart all of the information, or They
Mm,
feel like I should come to the coach and I should already have the answers
mm,
because I don't want to be seen as stupid, incapable, this and that, right? They've done this whole
mm.
mind game on themselves and they've disempowered themselves to even be fully present and real in the relationship.
Yeah.
What is
It-
the purpose of this then? Why are we even doing this?
Well, I think this is a little tangent that I think we should go down is because I think you and I have been around enough empowered coaches and our style is what we're talking about. And we need to point out, like, well, you'll talk about more of this in the unhealthy, but it's like when people don't feel like they can be honest or forthright in their coaching relationship or share vulnerable things or not have a win to bring back to the coach that week and because of
Yes.
fear or not know the answer and be afraid to show up, so maybe they start postponing or they procrastinate or like you said or they withhold, all this like shenanigans that go on. It's like that's a red flag. That's like being in, like we talked about, an intimate relationship, and you start not telling this person what you're doing, and
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, because they're not going to like me anymore, or they won't find that attractive in me anymore, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't see you, like you, believe in you, adore you, all flaws and all, or in this coaching relationship, like you tried something, it didn't work. Okay, let's try something else. Like what else? What's next?
Darling, I've been coaching a business, one particular business, for over
Yeah.
5 years through
Wow.
so many iterations
Yeah.
of
Wow.
entrepreneurship, different endeavors, evolutions, like so many things.
Yeah.
A couple people and then a particular team and a couple businesses. And it has been fascinating. What a journey, what a freaking ride, and a privilege that I've been on it. But I have seen so I know these people, the leadership individuals on this team, more intimately than their spouses do in some cases because of the depth and the
Yeah.
longevity of the
Yeah.
experience together. And so, they're just perfectly imperfect humans,
Oh,
just like
are
me.
you hearing me? Did
I
did I
can hear
just go
you.
mute or
No, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you?
Really?
Say something? Maybe it's just me.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yep. I don't know what
I
just
came
happened. Okay.
back.
Maybe it was me. Mine thing just started to say your internet connection is unstable. So,
Okay.
so you were saying about, so I can cut this out, but you were saying, I know these people intimately, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so I have an experience of 5 years of working with a particular team, business client of mine, and through so many iterations of their business model and their different businesses and their teams, et cetera, et cetera. And it's been a hell of a ride, honestly. But in saying that, the reason I wanted to point that out is like there are humans and life is complicated, right? So I really want them to be their most true, authentic selves with me. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's pretty crazy, especially
Mm.
over a lifetime of experience, every family, you name it.
Yeah.
But if I can really be of service and create this space where they can navigate through and ultimately reach their goals, which is why
Mhm.
you hire a coach. Generally, you have goals. You need to be able to navigate that messiness
Mhm.
and allow them to be who they are and not judge it, not take it personally, not let it get out of hand also because that can get out of hand. You need to have boundaries in these situations, them with me and me with them, right?
Mhm.
But just in saying that, I just think it's so important that people really realize that it can be complex. And
Mhm.
if you don't feel you can really be yourself in this relationship, it's not going to work.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
not going to work.
Yeah. Because if you want the best out of yourself and the best out of why you hired this person, and
Hmm.
there's not that, there's things that constrain it, whether it's I don't feel comfortable with them, or I can't count on them for this, or they wouldn't
Hmm.
understand, or whatever the story is. Check in with yourself. Is that true? Like maybe this coach does have capacity. Maybe this coach can, see you unconditionally, not judging or whatnot. And that's for you to a little bit overcome, right? Like, oh, I just need to open up more and share more in order to receive more out of this relationship. Or have you tried and it was shut down, or you felt the judgment, or you felt the lack of, harmony and health, like you said, of, being empowered, being seen and heard for what you are with some boundaries, right? Then yeah, might not be the right scenario for you. So,
Mhm.
okay, let's hear it. Are there any more
Have
of
another
your,
one?
please?
Yeah, so in some coaching instances, not just in physical performance, but in business for sure, a lot of times the coaches, and maybe this is more, subject matter expert kind of consulting, not coaching, they focus on the metrics, the analytics, the data of what is happening with the goal, the person or the team or whatever, right? And not really, either they're not comfortable navigating the deeper conversation,
Mhm.
the human behind the data,
Yeah.
or they just simply don't know how. And so I'm not saying that those coaches are invaluable, but those are different types of people, right? Those are analysis, expert performance, different things that they're bringing the data and the analytics to the table. It's important to have that too, but that's not who we are as humans. We're not
Mhm.
just our numbers. If somebody was coaching in an athletic program and just looking at the data, it would be so incredibly
Missing the
limiting
whole
to them.
human. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You wouldn't be able to even understand what's going on and why the data is the way it is. And same in business,
Yeah.
whether they're crushing their sales goals or absolutely tanking. That's happening for a reason. The
Mm.
reason is the human beings behind the activity,
Yeah.
right?
I was just thinking it's like going to a Western medicine doctor, and this is showing my prejudice here, going to a Western medicine doctor and they get some lab results, they treat the symptoms
Mhm.
versus going to another alternative medicine field, whatever, healer, whatever, and they not only take a holistic approach, but they know that the symptoms are not what's causing the symptoms. It's
Or
like,
even worse, they say your blood works normal, and you say, "Well, I feel horrible," which I have autoimmune. I've been through menopause. Many times I've been like, I don't care how normal that is. I feel miserable. Do you? Hello.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, "No, you're good. Go home." You know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See you next year.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly.
Yeah, so those people you definitely want to fire. Definitely want to break up with that
Yeah.
relationship because I think
Yeah.
we all want to feel good. We want the results that we want. If we're not happy with what's showing up or how it's going, then yeah, step out of it. Okay. So any more? Any more?
Oh, no. But I do
No.
have some questions at the end that I want the audience
Ooh.
to reflect on, but we'll save that to the end.
Okay. So let's share some what to do. Like, okay, so maybe after hearing this, you're like, damn, I don't feel like I'm in the right relationship, as
Yeah,
we sometimes,
exactly.
I don't know that it's me or my coach or whatever, but it's not working. Something's not working.
Dear John. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Dear Jill, we're
Write
going.
the letter. Dear
So,
Jill.
so what would you suggest as like steps or how would they go about, like what are their options? Like, what do we do? What do you
So
think?
from both sides of the table, whether you're being coached or the coach, so we have these experiences on both sides. As a coach, what would I appreciate? And as the person being coached, what do I feel is appropriate? And they're the same, right? So the number one is respectful communication.
Mhm.
So if things aren't going well, you're not feeling it for whatever reason, the first thing you need to do is have an actual conversation. This is not a text. This is not a DM.
Mhm.
This is not a note inside some piece of data or some program that you're using to communicate and track metrics, right? This is not an email. This is a real, actual conversation.
And the request for that could be a text, an email, or whatever, but then the
Yes.
conversation is human to human, voice to voice, eye to
Real
eye, if
life.
possible. Oh yeah, that thing. We still do that. We still do real life. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think in the context of that, it's asking for what you need, I think is the most important, right? And
Totally.
hopefully you've done an inventory of what you need or what's not working, or at least perhaps in the interest of collaboration, you could say, well, this is what I'm experiencing out of this. I was hoping for this, and this is what I feel like I'm getting. Maybe it's what do you see is causing this breakdown? And then it can
Yeah.
start a dialogue. It's like, oh, this is what I was saying, and then you open it up. How are you feeling about the relationship? Just like you would in.
Yes.
Right?
Many times you will find that these two individuals, again, unique individuals, have completely different ideas about what the expectations and the goals were of this relationship.
Mhm.
And maybe they were conveyed in the beginning and there's been a breakdown. Maybe they were never conveyed.
Mhm.
Maybe they were conveyed, but not really heard or were perceived as different, right? So just giving each other grace to be like, hey, actually, these are the things I was looking for and I'm still looking for, or maybe what you're looking for has changed. That's all
Mhm.
fine, right? So communicating all of that and being really honest about it, and
Mhm.
with grace, like I said, not in a rude,
Yeah.
combative
Throwing
way.
blame. Yeah. No throwing
Nah,
blame.
not at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then making sure that this dialogue, because it's a two-way street, that the person is being heard and these issues are going to be resolved and addressed. So what's the strategy around that? Or there could be just that hard, honest conversation of, that's not what I do. Like you have an example of this person is an expert in this thing, and that's what they do. They're staying in their lane,
Mhm.
and you've been in their lane with them.
Mhm.
But you actually want to be in a different lane,
Mhm.
doing it differently. There's no shame, no blame. There's nothing about this that needs to turn negative at all, right? It's just
Right.
like, oh, we just didn't make the right fit with one another.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
hopefully that's kind of what happens.
Mhm.
Now, I'll tell you, based on my own personal experience, it usually doesn't go like that. I mean, several times you will see that it might go off the rails. And I think, just to be honest about that, people come to these conversations ramped up. Maybe they're not in the right frame of mind. Maybe, they're having a hard day. There's other things going on in their life, and they bring that baggage with them to this conversation. So we do want to really encourage people to come in with the right energy, prepared for the conversation, to keep it calm, cool, and collected, and all that kind of stuff, and honest.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you just know that it's not working. You just
Sometimes
like,
you just know.
no. So you don't, if you feel, trust your intuition, is this I think we just need to talk about a couple of things, and I think we
Mhm.
could work through this. Or I think I think this relationship could be more valuable for both of us if, we whatever, whatever it is for you. And
If
sometimes
you decide to keep going, though, let's say that they do, there should be some guidelines
Mhm.
agreed upon by both parties, right?
Yeah,
So what could that look like? We're gonna try this again, Polly. What could this look like? How should we do this?
yeah, exactly. And then you just speak your needs,
Mhm.
right? You speak your needs, each direction, seen, heard, okay, agreed upon, great. And then out of that conversation might be like, one of you maybe decides it's not a new agreement.
Mhm.
There's not workability for whatever reason, right? Like I think
Yep.
you had this in your case. You're like, well, I would really like, you know, to step into
These
this realm,
things.
these other things, and this is what I was, and it was like, nope. And you're like, okay, then I think we're done here. Okay, peace,
Yeah.
peace out. See you
Yeah.
later.
I was
Great.
like, full respect.
Yeah.
Just giving me a hard no is better than a let's
Oh,
wait and see and drag this on for a long time.
yeah, 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 yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no.
I mean, this is your life.
This is your life.
Yeah,
Time, money, energy,
yeah,
so much.
yeah.
And, we are all about empowering people on all sides, to do what's right for them.
Yeah. So if your
Okay.
coach has got to go, he's got to go. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, we're breaking up here. That's all
Yeah,
good.
it's
That's
cool.
all good. Next.
Mhm.
So what are some of the questions? You had some advice on things to be thinking about or asking themselves.
Yes.
Hit me with
So
those.
let's say you're just trying to determine if this coach is right for you.
Hmm.
So maybe it's not going poorly, but it's not going great.
Mhm.
Or maybe you want to open up a conversation with them. Maybe you newly have acquired this coach in whatever capacity, or it's been going for a while. Maybe it's gotten a little bit stale. So these are questions I'd like to prompt for the audience for them to do a little bit of reflection. First question. Do I trust this individual with my well-being?
Hmm. Period. Yeah.
And stop. So it isn't, do I trust him with my business or with my training program or with my whatever I've hired this person to do, my relationship, my well-being,
Yeah. And do
because
not,
they
and
will
don't,
impact it.
and don't lie to yourself. Like, be true about this. Don't be the like, oh, well, I really like this coach. It's like, it's your freaking life. It's your well-being. Like, if you don't answer that with a, oh yeah,
Hell yes.
yeah, then like that's for you. And I think, gosh, if that's maybe. I don't think
Not
you have
good
the right
enough.
coach. I don't think you have the right coach. Yeah.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What
Number
else?
2, does this coaching relationship shrink or expand me?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm big on expansion. Actually, I do know that about you, Polly.
100%.
But speaking to the audience, like, we are here to evolve and expand. And if that relationship makes you shrink when you go to the room, the phone call, the exchange, the whatever happens here, if you are shrinking either in their presence or in their communication, that is not the right coach.
You know what I just got is like thinking about that intimate relationship because I've seen myself in this dynamic before. I want to call it like, so in intimate relationship, we'll say like narcissistic, and that's just a word that's thrown around, but I'm kind of hearing like bully, right? So if you feel like your coach is a bully and
Whew.
you like, right?
Oh, girl, have I
Step
seen that?
away, right? Step
Have
away.
I seen that? And I've
Yeah.
seen it in a lot in sports performance, but I've actually seen it in the business arena too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's incredibly unfortunate. That's a
Yeah.
hell no.
So if you feel like you're being bullied or it's got this like, oh, playground yucky feeling, it's like, oh, I don't, like goodbye.
No.
That don't even keep another day of that. Like, no, you deserve to be with somebody who, I mean, just like I feel like when I have, that coach I was talking about with the volleyball and Olympic ethic, I felt like a radiant, amazing, like, I mean, she was hard,
Yeah.
she's like, run your damn laps, do your, like she made us do the drills and stuff. But man, did I feel expanded knowing her,
Yes.
being in her team, being like, our team was just like lifted up, right? It was never,
Rise you up, girl.
yeah, it was never
Yeah.
do these things because you're being bullied or bad or, like, no. It was just all about the
Well, you're going to
elevation.
love this next question.
Let's hear it. I can't
And
wait.
we use this term quite a bit in coaching, a thought partner.
Yeah.
Will this thought partner bring out more of my potential than I would access or could access on my own?
Mm, yeah.
That is all about the curated space that is created
Mm,
for the human to do their work.
mhm,
That space is critical to all of this actually even being able to occur, right? It's like the seed goes into the soil,
yeah.
you water, it's all of those things. It's like, what is the garden that this plant is trying to bloom inside of? What does this
Mhm.
look like?
And I think, when we were talking about, good fit, is this the person and stuff, a couple things occur to me. One is, I can remember a relationship I had with a coachee, and how I look at it is every person who comes to me is a snowflake, right? And the questions that I'll have with this person and the meetings and how they'll go and the things and the tone of voice even that I'll use, it's always different, right? And I
Yes.
think that that's
Yes.
the beauty of when the relationship is a healthy one, is working with that person, right? And so like I had this one coaching client who was like in a W-2 job, wanting to like show, shine her magic. She was wanting to start like a comedy store and bring comedy to the community and all this stuff. And we're going over her financials because she did, we did like the business stuff, like here's my financial projections. And I remember sitting there and she's sitting there with this, not cushy, but W-2 job, and she's getting this little paycheck and she's like, should I, shouldn't I? And in that moment, I was like, girl, I believe in you so much, right? So like I poured my belief into her. She did that. She was
Mhm.
like, oh, like she ran off. And I just, that's what I just shared, what was real for her in that moment, right? And she did that. Like our community has that. The community I live in now has had that for however many years she's been doing that. And the people that she's transformed because of the work that she's done, it's amazing, right? Because in that moment, she didn't have enough belief. And that's sometimes what coaches do is you lean on their belief, right? And
Exactly.
there'll be other times where I'm coaching people and I'm hard on them. And I'm like, you got to get your work done, right? Like you got to push on them a little bit, but with love, like that coach pushed on me in the volleyball training was like, you got to do your reps, you got to do your, right? And so sometimes I got to like push on a client more, not just feed them with belief in them, but like do your damn push-ups, brother. You know, I got this client right now, he's just running around and I'm like, I need to know your burn rate. Like, I need you to, like, you need to know your burn rate, right? And I'm like on him, like, get your burn rate, like, figure that out and learn about this. And, sometimes but it's those relationships where you feel like what you need in that moment, you're getting whatever it is.
Exactly. And being able to move fluidly from these different ways of coaching the very same individual,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because their life is changing and evolving before your eyes.
Yeah.
And if they are doing the work, they are becoming literally a different person on the daily.
Mhm.
And so your coaching should change with them
Mhm.
on the journey,
Mhm.
right?
Well, and it's, from the person listening to this perspective, it's like, sometimes you need in the beginning a lot of help with the vision, right? You need some big picture thinking, right? Or maybe
Structure,
maybe you need
discipline.
roadmaps, stuff like that. And then you need some accountability and some cheerleading, right? And then there's dark moments when things aren't going well and you need that like pick me up, right? And then sometimes you're getting a little aloof or you're getting lazy and they're like, hey, let's scale it back. Let's come back to what are we doing here, right? And sometimes it's purely like from the heart. What does this person just needs to talk some stuff out, right? So
Mhm,
feeling
mhm.
that you have and you and I are talking from how we coach. So, God bless anybody listening to this. Not every relationship that you get with a coach, you're looking for all of this. So I respect the spectrum of coaching styles and coaching relationships and stuff. But I think
100%.
why we wanted to do
Yeah.
this is we want people to know you can break up with your coach. You're absolutely empowered to do so. And that's you being in integrity with yourself is like, this isn't working for me. I'm a no for this. Or maybe what can I make this more workable? And if not, peace out.
What was so cool about this conversation as we come to a close is I think what we brought out into the light, if you will have the individual listening who is either looking for a coach, has a coach, whatever. Maybe they need to just get clear with themselves.
Mhm,
Maybe they thought they wanted a certain thing, but they want something completely different. And
mhm,
that's totally cool and amazing. I
mhm,
love it when my
mhm.
clients come to me and they're like, so we did that thing. And, I'm like, I'm good now.
I'm good.
Stop talking to me
Absolutely.
about that thing. I want to totally course correct and pivot into this other thing.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
start talking about that.
Or they don't, I love working myself out of a job.
Or
Um,
there's that. Exactly.
I'm like, you talked
You
about
might be better at that than me.
well, no, I'm 100% because one of the things that I got as part of my learning through the hypnotherapy practice and working with Tony Robbins is, he has a whole movie like I'm not your guru kind of thing, right? And what he
Yeah.
found is when he started helping and coaching people, let's say to quit smoking or, get some results in their life or whatever, he would pretty much like hypnotize them to believing, I don't need smoking, whatever. And then when it would kind of wear off, they get to some other, they'd like, get off it and they'd have to come back to him. And he's like, these people need to be self-coaching, like teaching to fish, teaching to what do you need? Because I think the stronger the person is in knowing who they are, asking themselves these questions. I mean, you and I will get coaching at times, but the amount of self-coaching we do with ourselves, that's
Oh, all day long.
all day long. That's
All
how
day
it is,
long.
right? So not to say that you always need a coach too, right?
Right.
Like it's
Right.
total like the goal is not for you to like lock into coaching and need coaching forever. I mean, some people love therapy for the rest of their life. Maybe there's some things you need to work out, or maybe there's a faster track to that. But when you don't need it, part way. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because ideally you develop those muscles and now you can go on your journey self-coaching and you can come back to it when you need to or not, or you can
Something else.
use those skills and those muscles. You and I are great about doing this with each other and just be like ping ping ping, bounce stuff off and be like, got it. I knew.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you for
Mhm.
hearing me and
Yeah.
bearing witness to me
Yeah.
finding the solution myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you need that thought, you need that heavy thought partner. So whatever it looks like. So let's wrap it up. What's the one thing? You got a one thing for people? Maybe it's one of your questions. What do you think?
For me, on today's episode, the one thing is really we are not giving permission to these people to break up with their coaches. Oh, you just paused. You just froze. There you are. You came back.
Sorry. I don't know why it just went off and on.
That's okay.
Are
Probably
you
somebody,
are you-
Zoom is not perfect. Can you
No,
hear me
it's
now?
totally my internet. Sorry. Okay, so let's do that again.
Okay, no
Okay,
problem.
you ready? So let's wrap this up. Like, what's the one thing that we want to leave them with? What, maybe it's one of your questions, or what do you think is the
No, you're gone again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
sorry,
No,
sorry,
you're
sorry.
okay. Don't worry
My
about it.
internet looks stable. Like I'm looking right now. I've got it open and it seems stable.
Your
So,
audio's coming in and
let's
out.
try it
So
again.
we
Okay, maybe
could
give it a
do
minute.
tape. Yeah, okay. It's
Let's
still
just give it a
recording.
second here. Let me just see.
That's clear.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's on your end. Well, that's, yeah.
There's a
Thank God it's
delay.
on your end because your internet seems to be more.
Yeah, so there's a delay in your voice and the screen's going
Yeah,
all weirded out. Okay, no problem. Let's just hang out for a
I'm
second.
seeing it. I'm seeing it now too. Let me turn Wi-Fi off and I'll turn it back on. So I might drop off the whole call. And if so, I'll come right back
I
on.
would just turn the video off and let's tape the audio. So you have all of it in one place. So you're just turning off your video.
But if I put this on YouTube, but if I upload this to YouTube, or when I upload this to YouTube, I don't have that video to, like, it'll just drop off. So we do need to do both just to wrap it
So
up.
you're going to take two different audio files and sync them up?
Well,
That's
so
what
what
you're
I'm
going
going
to
to
do. The minute you do
well,
that, you know what I'm saying?
oh, well, but you've got the recording. No. You've
Keep the
got the one
recording
recording.
going. So you're going to,
I'm just
okay.
going to,
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with
Yeah.
you. And you're going to log back in. Okay.
so you've got the stable recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on. So let me see if this works or what happens. So don't you change anything. I'll change.
No change here. There she goes. Hi. Video looks good. Oh,
I'm back.
okay. Say
Let's
something.
see.
There we go.
Yeah, let's just see if this is going to be.
So the video
See
is
if it's going to
really
be stable
grainy.
enough to finish.
Yeah, the video is really grainy,
Okay. Okay.
but I
I'm
can hear
wondering-
you. So the
I'm wondering
audio
what-
seems fine. I think we should at
I'm wondering
least
what could
tape
be
the
causing-
audio
let me see, my
wrap.
computer's really hot. Oh, my computer is on fire. Okay, hold on. That might be having something to do with the.
Okay.
Let me go get the ice pack underneath my computer just to try that.
Okay.
Hold on. I'll be right back. It uses a lot of juice on my computer. I don't know if you've had that, but how's it coming through?
Better, and your audio is good. So we could just tape the audio and at least we would
Yeah.
have the audio file. We might not be able to put up a video. It just is what it is for this episode. So people won't
Yeah.
see my gray hair.
So, so let's do this. We'll continue to get the one thing. If I should drop out, you say the whole finish and just peace out us. Okay, I'm getting it's unstable again.
Okay.
So. We're hearing it, so, sorry, I don't know what's going on over here, but I guess it's time to go.
I guess it's time to go. Let's say the one thing. It's time to wrap this party up.
Well, we've got to so you need to do the one thing. So I'm going to prompt you for the one thing and then you can close it and then, we can see if we can do the back and forth right to the end. Okay. So if we want to summarize this into like one thing, is it one of your questions? What do we want to give people as like the one thing that they take away from here?
Absolutely. The one thing this week is that people have choices and they are empowered to make this decision themselves. They don't need anyone's permission. If it is time to break up with your coach, then it is time to break up with your coach. So really, the take home is be empowered, right? Ask yourself these questions, have this conversation with yourself internally, have it outwardly with your coach if you need to, if it's appropriate, and then make a decision because this is your one precious life. All right, lady, let's wrap this party
Make
up.
that decision. Sounds good. What do you want them to remember today, as we always remind our beautiful humans?
How your messy life looks is not as important as how it feels. And you?
Oh yeah, and every day is your opportunity. Find your awesome.